Because we're 6 seconds off of JRBW, who's got a 3-second penalty, but I don't think we're going to catch up to him. Barring an accident, that is. Especially when we're doing that. Get way too deep into the turn 2 braking zone. Oh, Jesus Christ, my fucking brakes have gone. What's going on, guys? My name's Martinio and welcome back to Project Cars 2 and round 9 of the WSRC GT5 Cup. And this week's round, as you can see, takes us to the lovely and the legendary Hockenheim circuit in Germany. And we're on the national layout for this one, so it's not the full-blown circuit, it's the national layout. And yeah, so once again, this round will consist of 2 races, the first being a 15-minute sprint race, and the grid order for that will be decided via a 10-minute qualifying session. And then we'll have a 15-lap feature race, which will have mandatory pit stops, and the grid order for that will be set via the results of the sprint race. So yeah, we're getting down into it. It's the penultimate round of the season. We've got a fairly handy lead in the championship, but drop rounds will be coming into play. So we're gonna every driver will lose their worst 2 rounds in terms of points gained. So some drivers at the moment, they're standing to lose 0 points, and that'll continue because I can't imagine you can't get lower than 0, of course. And some drivers like myself are slated to lose a lot more. So this is a fairly important round. I'm not going to say the championship is all sewed up and done and dusted, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's one I've been looking forward to. I do like the Hockenheim circuit, but yeah. So let's get things kicked off, and we'll start off as usual by taking a look to see how myself and everybody else got on in qualifying for the sprint race. So on to qualifying, and overall it wasn't an altogether bad qualifying session. At the moment, you can see we sit in 4th position there, and not particularly liking the curbs at turn 1 either. I hate the curbs around here. Some of the curbs are really horrible. They're just very, very high curbs, and you've got a big lip, and we know how this thing doesn't like to get over the curbs and doesn't like to be unsettled. So yeah, it was tricky in that regard, but Hockenheim is a track I like. I do enjoy racing here, and you know, I've raced here in numerous games down the years, so it's not like I'm coming in blind. It's not like I'm trying to figure things out in terms of braking zones, and I've raced on the national circuit a few times as well. So I was actually looking forward to this round coming into this, and I'm still chasing that elusive pole position. I've scored a fastest lap, the extra points for the fastest lap in a race this season. I've obviously won a fair few races this season as well, so I'm still chasing that elusive pole position. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad run all in all. In terms of setup, I did try and figure this thing out. I've been trying all season to figure out how to make this thing just act a little bit more civilized over the curbs, just to ride the curbs a little bit better. And I still haven't figured it out, and I don't think I'm going to figure it out before the season's done, because we've only got what, 4 races to go, and you know, 2 for this one and 2 in the final round at Alton Park. That'll be coming next week. But yeah, I mean, like I said, overall it's not a bad qualifying session. I think it just comes down to the fact that I know the track, and you know, I'm fairly proficient in using this car. So it could have been better, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse as well. And you know, I wasn't overly uncomfortable in the car, but as we're coming across the line, it's going to be a 138.541, and by the end of qualifying, that meant that we sat in 5th position. So yeah, again, not our greatest qualifying session of the season, but it's not our worst by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm relatively happy with that overall. Looking at the rest of the standings though, and Paul, again, he did it a couple of weeks ago. It came up with just an absolutely stellar lap that I could get nowhere near. I think it was at Oschersleben, and he's done it again, 0.7 of a second faster than anybody else. Max Dan, the second place driver there, 0.7, over 0.7 of a second behind Paul there. So brilliant qualifying for him, his 2nd pole position of the season. Then we've got Vector in 3rd place, followed by JRBW, so those 2, and Paul as well, still very much in that fight for 3rd place. We've got ourselves in 5th, of course, followed by Matt Jeffrey, pretty good qualifying for him. We've got Twisted Tyre Fitter Tro, our title rival Nasty PJ, all the way down in 9th place there. And then we've got Atrius rounding out the top 10. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Like I said, it's a track I enjoy, and I was looking forward to this one. It was one of the few races I picked out and said, you know what, I'm really looking forward to that one because I like the Hockenheim circuit. But yeah, so we're going to jump into the race in a moment. But before we do, let's just remind ourselves once again what's going on in the standings. And as you can see, I still hold a 94-point lead at the top of the standings there, ahead of Nasty PJ. Now, because drop rounds are coming into play, I'm not quite sure. I know 94 points at this particular juncture isn't enough to win the championship because any one driver can get 50 points in any one round. So that's not enough. If I don't score in this round and I don't score in the next round and he scores 50 points, then he could overhaul me. But again, because drop rounds are coming into play and certain drivers are going to lose more than other drivers because you lose your worst 2 rounds throughout the season. Some drivers are standing to lose 0 at this point because they've had 2 rounds where they've either scored 0 points or they haven't been able to participate, which is one of the reasons they brought drop rounds in. But so yeah, I'm not too sure what the permutations of what I would need to do at this point in order to guarantee I'll win the championship before we go into that final round. But yeah, regardless, that's the standings at the top there. We've got JLBW, Paul, Atreus and Vectra. They're not too far separated. A good round for one of them could change everything. Vectra especially needs a pretty good round to start reeling in JLBW because he's a good, 38 points behind at this particular juncture. Then we've got Colonel Red Eye, Twisted Tire Fitter and potentially Tro as well, battling for 7th place. Then we've got Mad O'Keefe, who dropped out of the season early because of issues with the connection. He kept dropping out on him. Then we've got Mitch and Matt Jeffrey battling for 11th place, and they could potentially both overhaul Mad O'Keefe before the season is done, and so they're very much in a battle for 10th place, I'd say. And then we've got Jumper Digital and John Scott rounding out the standings there. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be a fun one. So let's get things kicked off, shall we? Let's head down to the track and see how myself and everybody else gets on in the sprint race. Okay then guys, here we go. Still not a great start. Oh god, we still can't figure these out. So we're down to 9th, and there's our title rival, Nasty PJ, getting forced off track. So yeah, I think turn 1 is going to be where you're going to have to start thinking about lining people up for passes. I'm not allowed to sync with my gearing. Nasty PJ, does he have a bit of a problem? He's suddenly slowed rapidly. We've got Colonel Red Eye right up our chuff as well. Oh, I've done the same bloody thing again. It's because I can't see the apex. Yeah, when you're stuck behind someone so closely, you just can't see the apex of the corner. And I hope it's not going to disqualify me on the basis that I can't give position 9 back because, well, they've spun out. Ah, fuck off. Well, unfortunately, what was that? All of a sudden the car just, don't know, it just didn't go. It was just skidding or something. Have I damaged the car? It tells me there ain't no damage. I think I may have done something to the car, but it's not telling me what. Well, we're promoted to 8th place as Max Dan is scampered off. What the fuck is going on? I don't know what, honestly don't know what's going on with the car right now. It is all over the shop. It's like it hasn't even been set up. So and the gearing's all off as well. Like main straight, I'm not even getting out of 4th, which is weird because identical setup in, you know, gearing wise. I was just getting to 6th in qualifying. So we got a string of what, 4 cars here, so all the way up to 4th. So it's probably going to be a bit of an ask, but maybe we can get all of them. All I need is a string of mistakes. Like that one just there. Thank you.
2 minutes to go. Okay, mate, let's see if we can get him on this lap. Try to force an error. He's under big pressure now. Come on, you can take him.
Oh, this is uncomfortable because I don't know where he is. Oh, he dropped right off. So it's JRBW just ahead of us. And we're getting faster. We just need these guys to make a couple of mistakes for us. Like that one there. There's JRBW. Oh, dude, get out of the way. And we've got Matt Jeffrey right up our rear now. Because they have to take the long way round. Bad luck for Mitch. Well, there's Twisted Tyre Fitter. So it's 4th place on now, perhaps. So this next lap will be the final one. Well, maybe even a podium zone because we've got 3rd place just ahead as well. Oh, sorry, that's a back marker. Oh, he's run it too deep. Oh, I got that all wrong. And I think Twisted Tyre Fitter's got it now. Yeah, we just got too deep. He kind of cut us off at the pass, really. So unless he makes a mistake. Like he did on the previous lap around here. Well, we started 5th, and that's where we're going to finish. Disappointing, yeah. We just I think we could have done a lot better in that race. If we didn't make that little mistake and get up on those curbs, then I think we could have at least got a podium out of it. But I suppose we've limited the damage, and I think there's the possibility. Have we got the fastest lap? We didn't. Okay, never mind. Well, we didn't get the fastest lap outside the top 3, so yeah. But I suppose it was damage limitation for this one, and we just got to focus on the feature race. So let's hand over to the other Martino for the post-race analysis. So there you have it then, guys. 5th place. So we finished where we started, basically. So yeah, not a great race. We made some mistakes. We got that damage. I'm still not quite sure what it was. It's like the wheel was rubbing on something, but it didn't say there was any damage at the front of the car, so it was a weird one. But yeah, overall, I'd say considering we dropped it and we potentially partially damaged the car in some way, I'm not quite sure how. I think 5th place is a decent result, and we did get a few slices of luck there as well. But look at the rest of the finishing order. As you can see, and as we've already seen, it was Vectra who won by a good margin. Just nearly 11 seconds there, so well done to him. He was followed home by Paul and Nasty PJ to round out the podium places. Then, of course, it's Twisted Tyre Fitter, who we almost got in the end, but he just had a bit too much pace for us, followed by myself. Then we've got Mitch and JLBW, who got into that little accident coming down to the where the track switches, basically from the normal track to the little route through to make it the national layout, and JLBW did let Mitch back through there, so good sportsmanship there. Then we've got Matt Jeffrey, Atreus and Colonel Redeye rounding out the top 10. I think Atreus and Colonel Redeye got into a little bit of an accident with Tro, who you can't see there, when he dropped it on lap 2, and I think he tried 2 cars plough into him. He was kind of stranded in the middle of the track there, so disappointing for him. So yeah, that was the sprint race, and of course the grid order, the finishing order for that sets the grid order for the feature race. So we're going to be starting in 5th position once again. So yeah, let's get everything kicked off and head back down to the track to see how we all get on in the feature race. And away we go for the feature race. I gave whoever was on the inside of me room, I think it was Mitch. Yeah, I think the big problem with the last race was I didn't have the right gearing. The gearing was way too long. But away we go. Vectra leads from Nasty PJ, Paul, Twisted Tyre Fitter, then myself. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, God, I can't believe I didn't cover that one. It's going backwards again because we got fucking caught up in... Now we're caught up in the pack. Don't want to be here. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. What are you pushing me off the track for, you dick? Well, we're down in 10th. Oh, it's just fucking disastrous again. And the leaders are just scampering away, so... think Mitch has ducked into the pits. I think he's trying the undercut. Right, considering we've had a garbage start to the race. I'm going to take my pit stop now. Get it done, get it out the way. And then we can just concentrate on driving. So we're trying a very big undercut right now. I'm not sure which one's mine. Is it this my pit? Right then, no tyres, just fuel please. And repairs. Why is it repairing me? What did I damage? Oh, because I hit, what is it? Take the back of JLBW. Right, so we dropped to pretty much the back of the grid, but we've done our stop. Now we can just pump the laps in and see where we end up. And now we're being held up. Not sure if he just let me through or whether that was a legit pass and he just messed up his braking zone, but we're up to 10th. We've got Paul just ahead of us, who started in 3rd. So I think either he's had an accident or he's done what we've done and went for the undercut. I think I sort of let the cat out of the bag about how powerful the undercut is in this game and in these cars. Took me a little while to click on though, because the first time I did it was in Sakito in round 5. And it's round 9 now, so I've had a nice little head start on them all. And that's Atreus in the pits. Oh, he's got on them curbs. Those curbs are a bloody death trap down there. So we're up into 7th now. But Paul's been pulling away from us. He came out just ahead about 3 seconds. And now the lead is just so much bigger. I'm not leaving myself open to that. To getting nipped up the inside again. No, not again, not again! Oh, god damn it! Fucking curbs, man! Oh, I can't believe I just did that. And that's thrown any progress with that undercut right out the window. So I don't think we're winning the championship tonight, guys. It's been a terrible race. I was looking forward to Hockenheim. I just don't know what the problem is. I have no idea. Tell you one thing that doesn't help, this thing is just really understeery for some reason. Well, we've got a few people in the pits. So we're up into 6th now, so maybe we can salvage something. We've got 3 laps to do it. And we've got Twisted Tyre Fitter ahead of us yet again. We almost pipped him into 4th place in the sprint race, but Now we need to push. We need to motor. Okay, looks like Nasty PJ is going to win this race. We got up the inside of him. Oh, that was a bit dirty, Paul, I'd say. Don't leave me a car's width. Let's just say that. And he's up on them curbs. Why didn't my car just... He seems to ride the curbs so much better than mine. As soon as I got over there, it just stopped screaming and begging for its life. We're going way too deep there. And now we've got a run on him. I'm going to brake as late as possible. So it said we've got a leader closing in, but I'm 20 seconds off the leader, so not sure what all that's about. Because we're 6 seconds off of JRBW, who's got a 3-second penalty, but I don't think we're gonna catch up to him, barring an accident, that is, especially when we're doing that. Get way too deep into the turn 2 braking zone. Oh Jesus Christ, my fucking brakes have gone. Give me first gear, you piece of shit. My brakes have gone. Why am I getting a fucking slowdown penalty? Well, this has just been... If Road America is bad, then this is just an absolute nightmare, because now it's pulling to the right. So we've got to stay within 10 seconds of Tro here, because he's got a 10-second penalty. Yeah, just hit the brakes and it just wouldn't slow down. Oh, I think Trident taking his pit stop. So yeah, utterly miserable race, guys. I apologise for this utter shit show you've had to watch. I can't believe that. It just hit the brakes. It's been fine every other lap. And this time it just wouldn't. Tyres are fine, or relatively. That front left is looking a bit worse for wear, but... Well, the guy behind got a 7-second penalty, so we're not in any danger of falling lower down the order. So yeah, we started in 6th place. Just left the door open for everybody to step through inexplicably. And we're going to come across the line to finish in 6th. So, yeah. Sorry, we started in 5th place and we finished 6th. So, this has just been an absolute, utter shit show today. So, I don't know what's going on with the car at all. So, yeah. I don't think we've won the championship, which means it's going to the final race of the season at Alton Park. But before all that, we need to hand over to the other Matinho for the post-race analysis. So there we have it then, guys. Round 9 in the books, and by far and away my worst round of the season in terms of the points I've scored. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, just a bit off. I don't know why. I felt good going into the round itself, and it's just... I don't know, one thing's led to the other, and we've ended up in 6th place, so never troubling anyone for a win. So disappointing round, but you know, they can't all be winners, and we've still got a fairly decent lead in the standings regardless. But take a look at the actual finishing order, and as we can see, Vectra wins the 2nd race of the night. So he wins back-to-back races. He basically clean sweeps around, which only myself has managed to do other than himself. So very, very good result for him, and very welcome, considering he won't be around. He's on holiday, I think, for the final round, so he's not going to be at Oulton Park next week. So he's finished off his season in the best way possible with maximum points there. So well done to him. And then we've got Paul in second place, followed by Nasty PJ. So a repeat of the sprint race podium. Once again, they were, you know, you can't really argue. They were by far and away the fastest 3 drivers today. So very, very good result for those 3. Then we've got JLBW coming home in 4th, followed by Twisted Tyre Fitter and myself. Then we've got Atreus in 7th, Colonel Red Eye in 8th, Matt Jeffrey in 9th, and Tro rounds out the top 10 there. So yeah, not a great result for ourselves, obviously, in this round. I think it's, like I said, our worst round of the season so far. But let's just confirm that and take a look at the standings now. And as we can see, the lead has come down to 84 points. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, 84 points, an 84-point lead, and you've got only 50 available to do it. So surely you've won the championship. But I know I stand to lose more points than Nasty PJ. So I don't want to say yeah or nay yet. I know what I now have to do. If I can beat Nasty PJ in one or both races next week, then I'll definitely win the championship. But this table here doesn't reflect any rounds being taken away, the worst rounds being taken away. I've decided that I'm going to do that because I do the points for the league. I'm going to do that at the end of the season. I'll take the worst 2 results from every driver, and then we'll see where everybody stands. So yeah, we've got an 84-point lead, and then JLBW, Paul and Vectra all very, very close there. Vectra, as I said, this will be his last round of the season, so 5th place for him, barring some sort of miracle where JLBW and Paul lose a lot more points than him and don't gain any in the final round. Then I can't see Vectra finishing in 3rd place. So I think it could be a straight shootout between Paul and JLBW there. Atreus, not a great result for him today. That means it pretty much rules him out of the running for that potential 3rd place finish there. Then we've got Twisted Tyre Fitter and Colonel Red Eye still very much fighting for that 7th place finish. Then we've got Tro. I think he may have confirmed that 9th place there with the results today, followed by Mitch, who has now overhauled Matt O'Keefe, who won't be participating in the final round, or not that I'm aware of. He won't be anyway. Then we've got Matt Jeffrey, Jumper Digital, and John Scott rounds out the standings there. So yeah, guys, that's the end of today's episode. Next time out, we head to Oulton Park for the final round of the season finale. So it should be a fun one. It should be a good one. Not one of my favourite tracks, admittedly, but I think that we can have a good race there. And if we drive better than we have done today, I think we're going to get some decent results. So yeah, but once again, guys, like I said, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, you would like to see more Project Cars 2 or just general racing content from myself, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, guys, if you'd like to get involved with the guys from the Weekly Sim Racing Championships, they run various different events over various different days. So if you'd like to find a good group of clean, fast races, there's a link to their Facebook group in the description. Tell them Martinio sent you. But once again, guys, thank you everybody so much for watching. Stay cool, and as always, I will catch you in the next video. Peace!